Now, I'm normally not one for acronyms, but I'm going to make an exception. I've got 4 letters for you. JFDI. That's it, JFDI. That's the big advice Michelle Bridges, Australia's most influential personal trainer, has if we want to move forward with anything. So join me and Michelle as we go behind the scenes of Team MB.
Welcome to the Small Business Big Marketing Show, where successful small business owners share their secrets to take your marketing to the next level. Now here's your host, Tim Reid.
Welcome back, listeners, to another episode of Australia's #1 marketing show. I am your host, Timbo Reid. But you, so much more importantly, are a motivated small business owner ready to crank out some great marketing. And boy, oh boy, crank is the word today, because we spend some time with Australia's most influential personal trainer, Michelle Bridges. This is an episode I've been excited about for a long time now. It has finally come to fruition. More on that and what we cover in a minute. Suffice to say, it's really, really good. Now, I've also got I want to share an aha moment that a listener shared with me over the email a couple of weeks ago. It's got some wonderful marketing insight in it, and I think you'll find it very, very inspiring. So plenty to cover. Let's get stuck right in.
Small Business Big Marketing with Tim Reid. smallbusinessbigmarketing.com.
Hey, listen, how's your week? How is your week? Just wanted to check in before we do get stuck into the guts of the show. Just wanted to check in on you. I have called a gardener this week and my pool guy. And they're both really stressed. Maybe it's that time of year. I don't know. Just might be that crazy time of year. Late November, getting towards the silly season. But, you know, we know the silly season, we know it's coming. It's like it's no surprise. Christmas is at the end of December every year, and, you know, retail business generally gets busy. So we need to prepare for those times, don't we, earlier in the year. But if you are feeling stressed, take a big breath. Take a really big breath. And hey, look, I've got a very, very good personal trainer on the show today. Go for a run, go for a walk, do some burpees. I don't know. But I just noticed there was a bit of stress out there, and I hope that you're not part of it. But if you are, hit the pause button and just take a really deep breath in. Righto, so you know this show is made possible by the very good folk at 99designs.com/SBBM and the very good folk at netregistry.com.au. Very quickly, 99 Designs team, if you need anything designed, head over there. They have a community of over 800,000 designers ready to attend to your design needs, starting from like $299. You can get logos done, car wraps, brochures, book covers, business cards, you name it. You can get anything designed there, and it's a competition. So you post a brief, dozens of designers submit their finished concept, you give feedback and shape their ideas, and then you award the prize money. And that all happens in 7 days, and, you wait for this, 100% money back guarantee if you're not happy with the design. Hey, happy days! Happy design days are here again. And if you use the link 99designs.com/SBBM, you will get an exclusive listener upgrade, a free power pack upgrade, actually worth $99, which will result in, on average, 185% more designs being submitted. That's 99designs.com/SBBM. Whilst I'm on the topic of helping you market your business more effectively, head over to netregistry.com.au as well. They'll get your online marketing sorted. That's what they'll do. Anything from a domain name to website hosting, website design and development, all that stuff. I met with them this week in Sydney, their sales guys, and they said, oh yeah, you're the one who people ring and say, hey, Timbo sent you. Yeah, I am. And I send them there because Net Registry will get your online marketing sorted. So don't let that part of your marketing freak you out. You're good at your business. Let Net Registry be good at theirs and employ them for all those tasks that you can't get your head around because they might seem complicated. Righto, netregistry.com.au and tell them Timbo sent you. Righto, Michelle Bridges is just around the corner, but I want to share some inspiring listener feedback, question, insight. This one's got a bit of everything. Peter McInerney, I think that's how you spell it. He says, "Hey, Timbo, I'm writing to you about how well the learnings you and your guests provide are making." Love that, Pete. "I started to listen to SBBM way back when Lukey was about," he says. "He started a business, but it didn't work, so he went back into his corporate career because he needed to look after the family." Yeah, well, cash flow is an important part, Pete. There does come a point where we've got to jump and make that leap into our own business. But yes, cash flow is critical. "The good news is I now have a new idea and have started working on it. One of the first things I did was come back to your show." Should never have left it, Pete, by the way. "The interesting story is that last weekend I went to an agricultural show with the kids. There were thousands of people there. And during the day I noticed a stall, and much to my surprise, your voice popped into my head." I'm that little bloke sitting on your shoulder, Pete. "It seems I'm slowly becoming Timboized. What caught my eye was this stall selling galvanised chicken coops. It looked like a great product, but not one customer in attendance. I wondered why, and that is when your voice started talking to me." "There was no story," he says. "It was literally the owner on a seat and two metal boxes. There was nothing to highlight the benefits, quality, or how he was helping address a problem." Pete, love it, mate. You've been listening to the show and taking notes. You've got to have story. You've got to talk in benefits, not features. You've got to bring the emotion out. Going back to what Pete says, I could not even see brochures or business cards, so no encouragement to have a think and purchase later. We have to make it easy for people to buy from us, team. This is what Pete's noticing here. Just think of what are all the blockages to someone giving you their money and becoming a customer, and get rid of them. Get rid of each blockage. Pete goes on to say, "That's when it struck me that it's only been a few weeks since I came back into the fold, and already I'm seeing businesses through different eyes. It's not just about the product, it's the marketing that goes with it." Pete, marketing is everything, and everything is marketing, my friend. Well done for you for noticing that. "Considering this newfound understanding is based purely on the podcast, the learning from your forum must be unreal. Once I have the business and web page up and some money coming in, I will join the forum. Keep up the good work, Macca." Hey, Pete, that is a wonderful, wonderful note, mate. Everything you've observed is spot on. So, mate, I encourage you to join the forum. Don't wait for the website to get up, or don't. The idea of the Small Business Big Marketing Forum is to help you create all those bits and pieces that you need to create to market your business. So don't wait for the website to get up and then join the forum and say, "Here's my website." Join the forum and say, "Hey, listen, I'm thinking of getting a website. What should I put on it?" That type of stuff. It's $49 a month, guys. Head over to crankmymarketing.com and you'll be in there within, 60 seconds. Righto, team. Let's do this. Michelle Bridges. For overseas listeners, you may not know who Michelle is. Mind you, she was on the Today Show not so long ago, breaking a Guinness Book of World Records for the second time, which we talk about during this interview. She is Australia's most influential personal trainer. She's the straight-talking yet compassionate trainer on Australia's The Biggest Loser, one of the biggest, highest-rating TV shows of the year. Michelle's also the author of over 10 best-selling books. She's got her own clothing range. She's got her own vitamin range with Blackmores. She's got workout equipment. And she's got this amazing online program called the 12-Week Body Transformation, which has stripped, by the way, 1.3 million kilos off participants. Isn't that amazing? Michelle is an inspiring lady, and she takes us behind the scenes of her brand, her personal brand, and how she created that, how she came to be where she is today, the marketing that has worked for her, and she just wonderful. She really, really does take us inside what is an empire which she never, ever intended to build, which is interesting in itself. If you're up for it, team, head over to Twitter and let Michelle know that you heard her on the show. Her Twitter handle, at Mish, M-I-S-H, Bridges, at Mish Bridges. Let her know you heard her on the show. So here we go. I started off by congratulating Michelle on helping Aussies lose that 1.3 million kilograms.
And counting. I'm on the warpath.
That is it's a great stat.
Well, it is. And that we hit that milestone, I guess it was about the middle of this year. That milestone was hit with my 12-week body transformation online program. But, when and it was a big moment for all of us, all the team. We've worked so hard to do so much. And that stat was kind of a lot of fun to sort of put out there, because we really do know that we are making a difference. But, when I think of that, along with all of my books that have been in the market and all the other things that I kind of have, happening outside of my online program, I kind of now really believe that I've made a pretty big impact in the waistline of Australians. So it's something I'm extremely proud of.
So it should be. We talk a lot about pricing on this show, and I say this sort of half tongue-in-cheek, but it would have been an interesting pricing model. Did you ever wish you'd been given $100 for every kilogram that you lost from people?
It's funny, there's so many people that go out there and do they have like an office challenge where they all put $100 into a hat and go, okay, whoever loses the most weight gets the money, or whoever,
totally
gets to the finish line of the business charity fun run, that gets the money. And I guess for some people that can be an incentive, I suppose.
Well, absolutely. And I do say that tongue-in-cheek. Your 12-week body transformation, which I want to talk about shortly, I mean, it's incredibly well priced, and it's just an amazing online business. So we'll come to that, but, maybe reconsider how you price it next time and go for the $100 per kilogram lost.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Where would you be now? Hey,
wow.
Let's go back. As I said to you before we hit record, wanted to break it up into wealth and health. So just the way you've built your personal brand is so amazing. And I know, looking at your bio, you started at 14 training the kids at school who didn't do sport. And by 18, you had this certified fitness instructor license.
A license to kick butt, basically.
Hey, yeah, I like that. I like that. And you do that pretty well. You own kicking butt. But at what point did you decide you were going to turn that license to kick butt into an empire?
I didn't. That's never been my ambition, and I think that's part of the success. In a strange way. I've never had an ambition of having an empire. I've never had an ambition of actually being on television, and I think that's part of the reason why I ended up on TV, because I wasn't pushing for it. What I have had an ambition for, though, was to inspire as many Australians and even now the world to, get their act together and look after themselves better, to inspire them to want to, be more active, to eat better, to look after themselves and their family. That has been my ambition. And so with that in mind, everything that I've set out to do and everything that I've set out to achieve has been with that at the forefront. So it's real. It resonates from within. It's not that I wanted to, make money or have businesses or have staff or have, all of the things that come along with having several businesses. It's always been that I wanted to make it my mission to help people.
It's
Does
such
that
a
make
common,
sense?
Yeah, it so does. I'm just listening to you say that from the heart, and it's such a common thread about you'll be the 215th successful business owner that I've had on this show, and from Brian Singer at Rip Curl, Jeff Harris at Flight Centre, all the way through to a lady, Melissa Maker, who's kind of like the most famous home cleaner in Canada. At the heart of what you guys do is to make a difference, and the empire, and then you look behind you and the empire is building itself.
Yeah, I know it sounds, in a way, actually now that you say that, it kind of sounds a bit cliche, but it's got to come from a place of realness. It's got to come from a real place. If your only reason to do something is to make money, then you might get lucky, but I highly doubt it.
Mm. Yeah, there's a passion there, and I saw it when we were at that conference on the Gold Coast recently, where people were coming up to you, and you could see. I mean, you're excited by the difference they're sharing. I mean, you must get so many stories shared with you every day of the difference you've made. I mean, that's fuel enough to keep you going, isn't it?
I absolutely get at least between 3 to 5 a day. And I'm not even joking.
Can I ask you?
And that's not even on email. That's actually on the street.
On the street.
That's on the street, in the supermarket, at the petrol station, in the reception of a building that I'm going into for a meeting, in the car park, in a restaurant, walking my dog. It literally is between 3 to 5 of those a day, in the flesh, and then hundreds of emails daily.
Wow! So
it's unreal. It's so cool.
Very cool. And personal question, or often the questions I ask are for my benefit anyway, but I know the listeners want to hear as well. But like, I get emails nowhere near. I get 1% of what you get, but I get emails saying I've made a difference to people's business and thank you. And sometimes I don't know what to do with that information. It's very humbling, and it makes you feel good. What do you? I don't know. What's the question there? It's humbling, I suppose. And
yeah, look, actually, I know where you go. Well, I'm thinking of this in what you're just saying to me now. And when I first started, particularly on television, because that's when people really got to know me. Like, I was very well known in the fitness industry, but no general public, unless they came to my classes or came to my gym, knew me. And so when TV started, suddenly everybody was sort of recognizing me, and I felt completely and utterly embarrassed, mortified, especially if I was with friends, so embarrassed. And because I didn't want to be seen as, in good old Australian terms, as a wanker. Mm-hmm. So if people would come up to me and ask for a photograph, I'd be like, oh, my God, how embarrassing. Yeah, okay, sure. And anyway, a good dear friend of mine said, Michelle, I know you, and so I know that this embarrasses you, but you need to take stock because you're coming across as aloof, like you don't care. And I was like, are you serious? And he said to me, yeah. So you need to embrace this, otherwise you're going to end up coming across to people like you're above them or better than that or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, okay. So slowly but surely, if someone said to me, oh, are you that girl? Are you that girl on that TV show? Instead of like cringing with embarrassment, I'd be like, yeah, I am that girl. And they'd say, can we get a photo? I'm like, sure, let's get a photo. Get as many as you like, and that's not always easy because, you're trying to do your groceries or whatever.
Yeah.
But it meant I let it flow through me rather than fight it. And it's been a little bit easier to accept it that way.
That's really interesting. What a great bit of advice from your friend. Because for someone to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you're coming across as aloof versus, gee,
I've got some pretty
good
friends in my life. I've got some pretty good friends. They keep me very well grounded. And they were like, you need to like work this out, Michelle, because it doesn't look good. And I was like, I'm embarrassed. I said, I know that you're embarrassed, but other people don't know that.
Yeah.
They don't know you. So I thought, it was good advice.
What was the point then in your career, Michelle, where you look back and you go, that was the turning point? Because you've got books, you've got The Biggest Loser since 2007. You obviously were highly regarded within the fitness industry. Like, you speak from stage, you do so many things. Can you look back and go, you know what? It was that moment when it all changed.
No, I wouldn't say that there was one big moment. I think there's been, a turn of events over a period of time. Look, when the fact that I got in my car at the age of 26 with $300 in the bank, and secondhand beat up sports girl Barina with all of my worldly possessions, and decided to drive to Sydney and give my career a red hot go. I mean, that was a turn of events.
Might have been the sports girl part of the Barina that.
Yeah, it's true. I had nothing. I knew no one, and I had no job prospects. But I thought, oh well, the plan is just get there and see what happens. Not much of a plan, and I am a bit of a one for a planner, a bit of a planner myself. But sometimes the most simplest plans are often the best. Or it could be that when I pitched an idea to Mornings with Kerry Ann to do a fitness segment, and finally, after chasing her around the gym with this idea and beating down her producer's doors, I got that over the line. Then there was a moment where I won the Australian Fitness Leader of the Year award within the fitness industry. That was a really big thing for me and a shot in the arm for my career. I mean, I guess everybody says, well, it must be when you landed the gig on The Biggest Loser. And I would certainly say that was a big event. Mm-hmm. That was a big turning point because it allowed me to amplify everything that I'd already been doing in the background. It gave me the ability to springboard all of those ideas and concepts forward. That being said, though, it certainly didn't mean everything was a walk in the park and it was all just landing on my lap. When an opportunity turns up, you have to hone it, you have to polish it, you have to create even more in order to amplify that opportunity. One opportunity does not necessarily mean that the next one will arrive and the next one will arrive and the next one will arrive. You still got to keep being creative and being a bit of a lateral thinker.
Well, good on you for not becoming complacent, because I imagine where you've got to now in your career, complacency, it could set in. I'm sure it's set in other people who have got to your level where they go, know what?
I just landed myself a gig on TV. Cool.
Yeah. Job's done.
Job's done. Let's sit back and reap the rewards. No, I mean, one could do that, but that's kind of not my style anyway. I actually get quite excited by the prospect of new ideas and new opportunities and new projects and, the cut and thrust of business, as hard as it is, when you get knockback after knockback after knockback and no, it's still exciting when you can see a project get up off the ground and sort of see it through to fruition.
Well, here's the thing. You love ideas. You're looking for the next thing. I've got a 14-year-old daughter, Stephanie, who kids don't watch telly anymore. And you are in the mass media. I mean, Biggest Loser is one of those programs that does have outrageously big audience numbers, but that's uncommon these days. And Stephanie keeps on coming to me and saying, hey, Dad, check out these YouTubers, right? So I have been checking out these YouTubers of recent months. And there's one in particular that Steph follows, a girl called Zoella. and Zoella has got 6.5 million followers on her YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing. And one of these girls, I think she's 18, 19. She reviews makeup. She talks about her anxiety. She talks about this and that. So I go and watch Zoella, right? And she's fantastic. Production value's off the charts. And in walks, Stephanie actually said to watch a particular episode, in walks Jamie Oliver, right? So now I'm going, TV celebrities are now looking at people like Zoella, who have these massive multi-million amount of followers on the YouTube channel and getting exposure that way. Are you sniffing an opportunity online? Well, you already got 12-week body transformation, but can you see yourself going that way of a Zoella?
Of course.
Yeah.
Those projects are already
underway. She rubs her hands together and says, I'm not telling you yet. So, that's going nuts, isn't it? Because I was even reading an article with actually the boss of YouTube, who's just saying, this is the future where, stars are being born on YouTube and not on the TV screen anymore.
That's right. That's right. It's just the way it's the world is moving and shifting, and it's exciting times because
yes.
it means that not the world isn't ruled by television anymore.
Yep.
And some people would see that as a good thing, and other people would see that as a bad thing. And I just see it as, well, it's change. Change is inevitable.
Yep.
There's one thing that you can't stop, and that is there's always going to be change in every industry. And I guess being someone in business, change is hard because you're sort of like, oh God, really? We just got this up and rolling, and now you're telling me that we've got to do something else. But that's the law, the law of the land.
Way of the world.
You got to be ready for those changes. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be across how it all works, because who could be and who can be. But what it does mean is that, when you can see change within whatever business you're in occurring, you need to stop and listen and maybe get some sound advice from people who are involved with that change, or who know about that change.
Well, you make a great point, Michelle, because, you don't have to be across how it works. Like, I'm not that technical, but I've been podcasting for 6 years. I'm going to guess you're not the most technically minded either, but your 12-week body
I don't know what are you saying? What are you talking about? Of course.
Correct. So it's like, my point here for listeners, for small business owners listening, is like, focus on the content, like be Michelle, your fitness. I know my marketing. I want to share it. How you get a podcast together, or, let's talk about the 12-week body transformation. You had the content. You were the one who wanted to get in front of the camera and motivate hundreds of thousands of Australians and people to lose weight. But what did you do? Did you then go and find the people who could do the technical stuff?
Yep.
That easy?
Absolutely.
Yep.
I had people that were close to me that were very IT savvy, and it was like the worlds collided. We had the perfect storm. We had, myself who had the content and the ideas and the understanding of the landscape in that arena, and then I had people who knew IT and who understood how to sort of make it all happen online. So that you can't be everything to all people. So that's when it's it's smart to get people around you, surround yourself with people who understand those different parts of your business that can be grown. Like, I've got an amazing team in my Michelle Bridges team. I've got a great marketing girl. I have so much confidence in her abilities. I have an amazing retail product development a lady who happens to be a dear friend of mine as well, but knows the industry inside and out when it comes to clothing, apparel, and hard goods. So it's being able to release some control and being able to put some faith in others, rather than thinking that you've got to be, pulling all the levers at all times. You just can't.
What's your marketing girl? What's your marketing girl's name?
Vanessa.
What's Vanessa? What's her role?
She's head of marketing for Team MB. So she sort of, within Team, I have a small team, which is called Team MB.
Love it.
And we genius name, isn't it? I don't know where I could have come up with that.
Yeah.
But basically, what that team looks after is the brand and all the different verticals that sit underneath that brand. So those verticals are publishing, books, etc., writing, retail as far as apparel and hard goods. And when I talk about apparel, I talk from shoes right through to clothing, not only for women upwards of sizes of 26, which no fitness apparel actually does. I'm the only one in the country that does that, right through to shoes, as well as girls wear now, till young girls. And then hard goods from water bottles all the way through to treadmills. And then also that sits underneath that is cookingware or kitchen utensils.
Vitamins?
My 12-week body, my vitamin supplement range with Blackmores sits underneath that. And also the 12-week body transformation.
Can I ask, Michelle, because I did some work with Michael Klim a few years ago to help him with his brand strategy for milk, for his mail.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember talking to Clemmy at the time, and we were talking about Ian Thorpe and how Thorpe had gone, and he went around and pretty much put his name to anything anyone put to him. And some of those things didn't work. I think at one point he had Ian Thorpe diamonds or pearls or something like that.
No, it was pearls.
Pearls.
Yeah. No,
So,
okay, this is you bring up a very good point, and that is it needs to be on brand. And
yes.
I cannot begin to tell you how many things I've said no to. You have to say no to a lot of things.
Okay.
It's got to be real. It's got to feel that it resonates within you.
Okay, that's you got it. You got it in one, and for you, that's just a gut feeling because it's like Team Michelle Bridges is reviewing something that they are wanting or thinking of putting your name to. Is it as simple as you go yes or no, or is there some more strategy to it?
There's a lot of thinking around many of the things that we will. A lot of the stuff, actually, to be honest with you, a lot of the stuff that we do, we actually go out and chase it because it feels, we're so passionate about it. Like, I was so passionate about doing a fitness line that was inclusive of all financial, demographics, that people could feel good and look good while they're training, but they could afford it. Mm-hmm. That was just so inside of me. I was bursting. So we went and chased that one down. The same with kitchen utensils and cookware. It's like, well, I preach about, taking back the control in your kitchen and, taking back the responsibility and accountability of the food that goes in your mouth. So that kind of, I absolutely wanted to do that. Some things get put across the table that we think, that's actually quite a good idea, but it's not often. Most things that come across my table, I'm like, no, that doesn't fit for me. It doesn't work for me. I mean, I've even had a junk food giant come to me, and I was like, are you kidding? Are you absolutely kidding me? And the thing is, the general public are smart.
Yeah.
They will give you permission to do certain things, and they will not give you permission to do other things.
So true. So true. And not easy to say no. I mean, you're at a point now where saying no is easy. You've got the cash flow and the empire is building as a result of not looking at it, but just focusing on your why.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you are down to your last dollar, or you're fine and you don't need it. It's got to be true to your core values.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. Music to my ears.
It's got to be true to your core values. I stand by that at 100%.
Now, I want to just wrap up the business discussion, but I notice you've done, and I haven't had this discussion on the show before, Guinness World Record attempts. You've got 2 Guinness World Records, and I love it. Largest circuit training class.
I never in my wildest imaginings ever thought that those words would ever come out of my mouth.
Classic.
That I actually have not 1, but 2 Guinness World Records. I mean, this is stuff kids dream of.
Correct.
I want to be in the Guinness World Record book. Like, really? Is that ever going to happen in my lifetime? Twice. It's crazy.
It is crazy. So how did that first one, you got largest circuit training class, and then I think that was followed by largest exercise ball workout. And that was, I loved that. I watched that. What coverage.
That was done in New York.
Unreal.
The second one was in New York. It was pretty mind-blowing and quite an out-of-body experience that I was like in, I can't think of the actual, it was right out the front of the Today Show.
You're on the NBC Today Show. It's probably like the Rockefeller Center or something like that.
Yeah, it was the Rockefeller Center. That's it. That's exactly where we were, in a sea of blue balls. And I thought, what on earth? Really, Michelle? This is crazy.
Yeah, no, I got a sense even watching you on that, thinking, like you were, out of body's a good way of putting it. It was like a little bit out of your comfort zone.
It was, I was well and truly in my comfort zone. I had a whole bunch of people in front of me exercising.
Yeah.
But it was quite surreal that I was doing a Guinness World Record, not only a Guinness World Record, but actually doing it in the Rockefeller Plaza in New York City. Like,
great way to get that coverage and get your brand out into one of the world's biggest marketplaces. How did the idea come about?
I had a crazy guy that I was working with in the States who was a TV producer. And he'd been a producer with the Today Show, but several other different companies as well. And he was out, he's freelance. But he said, I've got this genius idea and I reckon we can make it work. And I was like,
cool.
Are you serious? Don't get me wrong, it took a lot to make that happen. I mean, so much went into making that Guinness World Record happen. Just try to imagine, how do you get nearly 400 spitballs into New York City in the Rockefeller Center, get them all pumped up, and then get that many people in there? You would think that would be easy. It's actually not. To get, and then to actually then have all of those balls removed out of that area.
Classic.
I mean, yeah, and then not only that all the logistics of trying to make it all happen, but then actually trying to then sell that to, not sell it, but, get that pitch over the line to a TV show like the Today Show.
Yeah, correct.
It makes me laugh when I think about it. Like there was tears, there was sweat, blood, anguish, anxiety. People were going through all different emotions of depression trying to make that whole thing happen. And I remember just thinking, God, if we get this, if we get it and then we actually break the record, I will literally just fall over. Which I did.
You did, and from a marketing point of view, and I'm sorry to bring it back to that, but it's a brilliant marketing play, and it got you. I think it's 12 minutes was the YouTube video of coverage on the Today Show across America. I mean, it's good, it's smart. I hope you.
It was pretty fun, I have to say.
I bet it was. I just want to wrap things up. I so appreciate you. And by the way, just going back to that whole the world's changing and YouTubers and all that, well done for you for coming on a little old podcast like this. I've got a loyal audience. They love what we share on this show, but thank you for that. I want to finish with a lovely acronym that you share from stage, and I'm sure you share it in other places, Michelle. JFDI.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that was going to turn up somewhere in this interview.
JFDI. Well,
It works for everything. It works for everything. It works for putting your clothes away. It works for getting your car serviced. It works for having to go and talk to your bank manager. It works for getting up off the couch and going and doing some exercise. It just works for everything. It works for everything. JFDI.
And is it really as simple as just doing it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It really is that simple. It's like, this is for all the overthinkers, all the procrastinators, everybody that suffers by analysis, by paralysis. It's just like, get over it. Just get up and do it. Just shut up and do it.
Because I guess as a personal trainer, one of the things that you would get a lot is excuses. So it's just like JFDI, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I use them. We all use them. We've all got plenty of them. Some of us polish those excuses to within an inch of their life, and they actually become truths after a while.
Yeah.
But you end up cutting through all the BS with my beautiful JFDI statement.
Love it. Have you got has Team Bridges got a JFDI t-shirt?
We've got the t-shirt, we've got the hat, we've got the bag, we've got the lot.
Love it. Well, I'm about to do the Great Vic bike ride with my daughter. We're about to ride 500 kilometres from Albury to Lilydale, so I'm looking for an excuse at the moment. But I think I know what you're going to tell me.
Yeah, you know what to do.
Yeah,
Get the t-shirt.
Australia's most influential personal trainer, Michelle Bridges. Thanks so much for taking us inside Team Bridges, Team MB, and getting us up off our asses and JFDIing it.
Thank you. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much.
What about that? Hey, do you enjoy it? I really enjoy it. I could have kept talking to Michelle for a long time, but I was conscious I didn't want to hold her up for too long. That interview was brought to you by the good guys at Net Registry and 99 Designs, and I want to share my top 4 learnings from it. I'm sure there are many, many more. In fact, I know there are. I'd love to hear what yours are. But here's mine. Number 1 is what you are doing in your business on brand. Great question to ask. I love the fact that Michelle sees so many opportunities in her business. People come to her with opportunities and she puts the brand filter across them. Because if you do things that aren't on brand in your business, it gets a bit smelly. Hey? Customers, prospects smell a rat. Stay on brand and everything will align and feel like it's just working, like it's humming like a well-oiled machine. Number 2, JFDI. I say no more. JFDI. Point number 3, truly care about what it is you offer in your business. And stop looking at the bank account if you are. Look at the bank account to make sure the cash flow's there, but I love the fact that Michelle has built the Team Michelle Bridges empire without looking behind to see how big the empire is. She focuses on what she loves, and that's the well-being of the human race. And as a result, she's got to where she is. Number 4, and we didn't get really stuck into it too much, but stay fit. Michelle is all about fitness. A healthy fitness owner is a healthy business. A healthy fitness owner. A healthy business owner is a healthy business. And I encourage us all to continue to stay fit. And you will find that things change. When I lost 30 kilograms, my business doubled without an inch of exaggeration. You just think clearer, you feel better, you exude a better energy. So that's my interview with Michelle Bridges. If you loved it, let her know at Mish Bridges over at Twitter. And if you loved it, let me know by leaving a comment in the show notes over at Small Business Big Marketing, episode 215. Okay, time for inspirational marketing quote of the week. What a good thing to follow up Michelle Bridges with, hey? This one is from Joe Chernov, who is a content contributor over at HubSpot.com, which is a great marketing website, by the way. And I love this quote. Joe says, good marketing makes your business look smart. Great marketing makes your customers feel smart. Love that. I love that. I am putting the finishing touches on a book. I know. I've kind of kept that quiet. And it's all about great marketing. In fact, it's all about helpful marketing. And it is about making your customers feel smart, because if your customers feel smart, then they are going to make a more informed purchase decision, and more often than not, in the favour of the business that has made them feel smart. So, got to love that quote. Thank you, Joe, for that one. Righto, team, it is nearly time to say goodbye. Next, I've got so many great interviews in the can. I wish I could just release them all now, but then I'd have no interviews and I'd be scrounging. I'd be going like, wow, I've got to get more in the can. So I will drip feed them over the coming weeks. But next week, I've got Daniel Delaney from New York City. He is an ex-YouTuber turned foodie, and he's got a couple of amazing barbecue house restaurants in New York. And he's just a really, really good marketer. Went for quite a while, this interview, about 55 minutes, so I'm not going to put much around it, but there is marketing gold dripping from Daniel's Barbecue. Big thank you to 99designs.com/SBBM. Go and get your free $99 upgrade over there, and to netregistry.com.au for making this show possible. You want to keep the marketing discussion going? crankmymarketing.com. Hey, join the forum, get in the inner circle, and let's get your business moving. That's what we do in there. Enough from me. I've been Timbo Reid, still am, always will be, and may your marketing be the best marketing. Bye for now.
You've been listening to the Small Business Big Marketing Show with Tim Reid. Want more marketing goodness? Then visit smallbusinessbigmarketing.com.